welcome to a contender showdown tonight. We have season 20, match day 13. I'm on the desk here with Visionary One, and on the producing side, we have Boz Radala, Visionary One. How are you doing tonight, brother?
I am doing it pretty solid, my man. Just another day of RSC once again. Super excited to go ahead and see these two teams go at it. Obviously, we're starting off with Contender tonight. Going to be swinging into some rival action later. So, I mean, with the continued rising level of Rocket League, we just continue to see these players improve and do stuff that I still can't do.
That's actually absolutely right, and I agree with you. There's a lot of things that some of these lower tiered players that I can't even do some of the stuff that they do. It's absolutely crazy what they can pull off. But starting off here tonight, we have a contender matchup for you guys. And this is actually going to be a really good matchup. We have the Clover from the Flower Road versus Ice from the Elements. And looking at some of these stats that they got going on for the team, both of these teams are pretty high up in the standings. We got Ice that's leading Contender right now in first place with a my goodness, I'm trying to get my words here. They have a record of 31-17. And the Clover have a record of 28-20. Ice is sitting at first. Clover sitting right behind them at second place. The last time these two teams met, it was a 2-2 back at match day 6. So this should be an interesting battle here, Viz.
I think the biggest thing to really note when you look at these team stats, right, is the goals for versus the goals against for the Ice. You got a 35 goal differential in what, 42 games or 52 games? That's kind of crazy. The fact that, you know, you've lost 17 of them. It means most of your losses were close as well as your wins. You're getting some of those blowouts. Other thing to note as well, only 140 saves there currently, 130 for Clover. So Ice, you figure with them winning 31 games, they're having to make less saves. That's not the case. Probably more aggressive, pushing those two up front, having to make those goal line stops, but they seem pretty comfortable doing it.
What's even more crazy is that talking about the records as well, like both of these teams have not locked into playoffs yet. There's two match days left, and none of these teams have locked in yet, believe it or not. So we have definitely like a heavyweight bout here in this first match. Going into the player stats here for the Clover, I mean, looking at these stats here, you got SqueezySponge, which I talked about in the last time I casted for this team. He has 35 goals, 110 shots on net with a 31% shooting percentage. And then you have Enterprise that has played 34 games with almost the same similar results. Do you want to go take over for Ice for me?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, if Ice win 2 games in this set, they clinch playoffs. But I really want to highlight right here, you're looking at mulliganisoup. I don't know what the I is there for, so we're just going to go mulligan soup. All jokes aside, though, 37 goals, 105 shots poured in. So I'm looking for them and Squeezy to really be pushing the issue as second in rotation and let their team really set them up. As you can see, Vvreze and FerrisCrueller both in the 20s for assists. So they like to feed their man. And it seems like his shooting has been there all season at 35%. Definitely excited to see what they can do.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. And even to add on to that shooting with even the goals too. This is a crazy stat. Ice have 3 of the top 11 contender goal scorers between Mulligan, Vvreze, and FerrisCrueller. So this team is definitely strong on the offensive side, and I'm really interested to see how Clover's going to be able to manage against that offensive pressure here in these 4 games.
It's really that big thing right there. These teams not really that far separated. I mean, we're talking 3 games total on the differential. Number 1 and number 2 coming in. Ice with a chance to clinch 2 days before the season's over. I'm sorry, I should say 2 match days, technically. Still very excited to see what they're going to bring to the table, if they're going to be able to clinch today. Or Clover, number 2. You know what? You come for the king, you best not miss. They're going to give it their best shot tonight on stream. We're getting into game 1 right now. Players are joining the lobby, Wicked. We're kicking it off. 4-game set, game number 1.
And it looks like we had a little miss kickoff there for Enterprise. You didn't flick forward, but they're able to get that clear away. Vvreze is here. He's going to take it across. Looking for an opportunity. Gets a dunk. Mulligan there. Mulligan's playing in the mark, which is absolutely something that you don't see between any players in RSC. As Squeezy almost squeezes the ball, and he does! And what a squeeze in there by the Sponge Man himself, as Clover here gets the first goal in game number 1.
You know, you name yourself after a sponge, you better be able to find the crevices, and that hits the shank of the post and somehow finds its way in. It's a heck of a way to start the series right here. We said you come for the Kings, you best not miss. Clover's here to prove a point. They take an early lead. But Wicked, the last time we casted together, didn't really matter who had an early lead or a late lead. It was difficult and tough sledding for everybody as Mulligan is going to get it right back with a little blackboard read of their own. Mulliganisoup evens the score.
What a shot there by Mulligani, and an unfortunate touch there by Enterprise with a little boost trying to read that backboard touch. But Mulliganisoup, one of the top 3 contender school scorers, pulling out a big double tap as we get to another kickoff here. Almost restarting the game over. As Mulligan, he's going to take this ball back down. Something for his teammates. Gets an unfortunate pinch backwards. Squeezy there to clean it up. Arc, he's going to go for here for a challenge. Gets the beat. Looking to push this downfield. Gets beat over. Enterprise sends it downfield. Looking to get another touch here as he grabbed full boost. Centers it for his teammate. Squeezy there. What a save there by FerrisCrueller. And Arc here is going to have to resetting here to push something forward. Enterprise decides to take it forward. Looking for a 50. Ball floating over. SqueezySponge up. Looking to get his another shot in as that goes over the side of Arc.
It's a good job right there, of course. Just kind of playing this patient defense that we see Ice bringing out right now. They're low on boost, but they're still able to at least challenge a little bit in the midfield to make this dangerous. It's a great 50 by Mulliganisoup right there as well. Make it 2 of them on the wall, but Enterprise, this is directly on their hood. Going to try to pop it over 1. Fortunately, just bumps Vvreze right into it, and this is just a hard reset. Nobody really there to challenge the ball. The long clear going to be dangerous off the crossbar. Enterprise plays it away, and this is kind of scaring me a little bit as we get further into it. It seems like Clover is kind of opening themselves up to those counterattacks, but we see Ice a little too close together, going to allow this possession to flip over as that space is given up, but a solid back post rotation by Mulliganisoup. Going to get demoed for their effort, but they do get the ball away as this is going to be in front of the box. It's going to be FerrisCrueller with the shot, and it's in. FerrisCrueller's day off, more like his day on. 3:05 to go, and we have a lead for the Ice.
Absolutely, and he was definitely on point with that shot with an open net. I mean, you have to score those every day. If you are a Ice fan, you love to see that as they are leading here with 33 minutes left in game number 1. Enterprise here looking to do something crazy, setting something for his teammates. Arc pops it over. Mulligan just there to deny anything that was going to happen. And I know one thing you pointed out, Viz, was about Ice's they're trying to do a counterattack. And it looks like Clover, they're kind of sitting back waiting for a counterattacks of their own. So it's like both teams are trying to look for those opportunities to kind of bait people out and push everything forward. As this ball is going to float over. Squeezy doesn't get the best touch, and now there's Enterprise. This ball is floating over dangerously. Arc gets a good save for his team. Vvreze are trying to set something up here again, but looking for their 3rd goal in game number 1. Enterprise gets dunked. Absolutely destroyed. Squeezy looking to get a 50. Doesn't happen. Uh-oh. And this is an unfortunate turn of events. What a save by Squeezy with no boost, and he's going to still push this ball downfield. Beats over 1, gets it full. Dunks it over 1. This might be an opportunity for the Clover as that gets saved away by Mulliganisoup.
Yeah, but the pressure is still on. Can't get the ball out of the corners. Arc's going to be able to get this over the top. There's SqueezySponge up close and personal, finding the spot once again through the defense. It's going to be tied up 2-2. And you said, like, these teams are looking for counterattacks, right? That's just a good example of sustained offense. You get that little counterattack, you get the beat in the midfield, you're able to secure the mid boost as well to continue pushing the ball, and good things happen when you're able to win the resource battle as SqueezySponge looking for a pass to the midfield. Going to be a double commit on the defensive end, but Enterprise caught out a little too far forward. 1:45 still on the clock. This ball is going to be listfully hanging out in front. The bump's coming out off of the crossbar and somehow out as SqueezySponge going to take this one low and slow. The challenge coming out, going out to the corner once again. Ice looking to try to keep possession here. We're going to see if they're going to be able to do it as Mulligan gets a nice little dunk here, but it's not going to be dangerous enough to get a shot on target.
Man, one thing to also point out is both of these teams are definitely fighting for those playoff spots. As that's a big whifty over on the side of Clover and Ice, but it gets cleaned up, gives it a side of Ice. Looking for something to happen here. It's maybe something to develop. Trying to put something downfield as Mulligan does. He's going to still take his time here. Good patience. Looking for a 50. Squeezy denies him. That ball goes over to center. Big dunk in the midfield. Squeezy maybe gonna get something forward. Another dunk comes out. And a lot of these teams are looking for those big 50s. They're trying to like 50 each other out, kind of maybe even set like open stuff up with these 50s now. Not really looking for these counterattacks, as this might be an opportunity again for Ice, or not Ice, Clover. Squeezy gets a mid boost. The ball's floating over. And now we're starting to see a lot more pressure, offensive pressure on the side of Clover, as this ball might get squeezed in again. And this man, he's everywhere. He's squeezing these balls in left and right. And SqueezySponge in game number 1 has a hat trick with 28 seconds left, Viz.
It's a great shot towards the front post. I thought I heard Mulligan get a clip on that ball. It turns out it was the post actually making that noise. Again, the second shot that goes posting in. I wish I had that kind of luck when I logged into this game, because it definitely doesn't happen. The post and the crossbar do not love me like they love SqueezySponge right now, as that's a big miss. So down in front, Whifty dead in front of the net. But mulliganisoup playing a nice deep third in rotation, going to allow this one to at least go to the corner. But they're going to need something to the midfield, and quickly. Good dunk by Vvreze, looking for Ferris. Going to get a little touch here, just trying to make it awkward. Menace to society status as SqueezySponge looking to kill this one out. 3, little double commit, but the ball is still going to continue forward. The dunk in the midfield going to be there, and it's going to be dropped. Clover are going to take game number 1 over the number 1 seeded Ice.
What a demanding win for Clover here in this game number 1, kind of setting the tone for these 4 games. And SqueezySponge obviously with the MVP here, with a hat trick of his own, 1 save and 5 shots on net. And even on the rest of his teammates were playing a lot of good defense. They don't have any shots on net, but it just seemed like they were trying to feed the ball to Squeezy. As you see with the assists, they have 3 assists, and seemed like all 3 assists were for SqueezySponge. So good props for Clover there, playing good offense, looking for each other in the midfield, trying to set something up, kind of bait out the defenders and pick them apart.
Yeah, a lot of backboard play, obviously. I mean, we're going to see that at the contender rank anyway. So, I mean, obviously, I kind of favor the midfield passing for the most part, but it's not really going to be about me or what I like to see. It's about what's working right now. And feeding SqueezySponge was obviously the right choice here. In game number 1, we're going to see if they can continue that hot streak, or if it's going to be Ice, mulliganisoup, FerrisCrueller both getting on the board for them in game number 1. Are they going to be able to answer the scoring barrage that the Sponge has brought onto them?
I really hope that they can do something here in this game number 2, especially because they're, as we said right before the games even started, about them being 2 of the top 3 or 2 of the top 11 contender goal scorers in Contender right now. So hopefully they do something here in this game number 2 as we get this kicked off. This goes over to the side of Clover. Vvreze gets a beat over 1 and a shot. What a way to start off game number 1, 4 seconds in, and Ice is on the board.
Vvreze gets the answer. Mulligan, a little bit of an awkward kickoff there, but hey, if you can delay it like that and pop it up for your teammate, who cares? It works. It's going to be Ice getting off to a hot start once again. However, they were held to the flame in game number 1, even though they had the lead early as well. We're going to see if they can hold on to it here, as Vvreze looking for number 2 off of the kickoff again. Doesn't find the dunk. Enterprise going to be a little bit awkward here. 50 going to go directly to the corner, but Vvreze going to have the answer. It's going to be directly in the midfield. Little team bump as well, going to open this up. Demoed for their effort is FerrisCrueller, but SqueezySponge does not have a lot of boost here. And look how close together right now this Ice team is playing. They're going to have to spread out just a little bit if they want to retain possession.
For sure. And even like they need to start playing like Clover, because Clover, they're kind of spacing each other out. Yeah, they had a team bump. That might have been a little miscommunication issue on the side of Clover, but they're looking to set something up here on offense, as Arc was unable to get past defenders. FerrisCrueller bangs it down. Squeezy there, sitting in the backside, looks to get a good clear. Enterprise hits the ball back down. One thing to note, I've noticed, is the side of Clover is Squeezy's been sitting back a little bit. He's kind of just waiting. He's like a lion in the grass. He's waiting to come in at the right opportunities. He comes in right there and almost has another goal for himself out of these 4 games. As Enterprise is here, has to rally the ball up, kind of set something up, because he gets a good pinch over 1. And FerrisCrueller has no boost here. Notice the Enterprise. The Enterprise looking for a 50. Mulligan looking to clear this ball away. Gets denied by Arc. And a bump there. But now we're starting to see a lot of whiffs coming out too. So both of these teams are trying to figure out, get a pace of offense on both of the sides.
And no real offense to speak of. A lot of midfield challenges, a lot of 50-50s. This might be an opportunity, though. Enterprise not going to be able to get there. Vvreze completely out of boost, and so is mulliganisoup. Can actually play that one down. This is a wide open net. Do they have the boost to get there? There's Enterprise going to cross it, but Arc isn't prepared for it. Going to go off the backboard once again, but the pressure right now, it's deafening. They're just being swallowed up as FerrisCrueller. Actually, it's going to be a bad touch by Enterprise, going to allow a shot to go on net. Luckily, Arc is going to be there to bail them out in time. And the first little offensive push we've seen out of Ice since the opening kickoff goes awry there. SqueezySponge looks to have the answer.
Yeah, and they're starting to set up more on offense here. They're trying to get in their offensive footing here as Enterprise gets a good 50 in the corner. Arc up, gets a touch over one, so they still have this offensive pressure. Can they keep this up? Squeegee is definitely going to say yes, as he almost gets a dunk, and that would have been a great opportunity for him. Arc's up, last man. That was kind of a little high risk, but Squeegee there to rally the ball up. This is an open net. Double commit comes out on the side of Ice. This is a counterattack opportunity. Can Enterprise get to 50? And he does. Squeegee shoots the ball on net. Almost squeezes in another goal in these games. Enterprise backflipping. We're gonna get a 50 for his teammates. Squeegee looking to push this down. One thing I've noticed is Ice, they're not managing their boost really well. Clover, they're doing a really good job of managing boost, but they're not really getting the ball down and looking for each other in this game number 2.
I mean, they really haven't been able to, just for the sheer fact that Ice has been sitting a little bit further back. Yes, they've been like kind of awkwardly positioned on each other a few times, but we see another deadly double commit on the defensive end. But SqueezySponge going to have enough boost and have that rotation off the back post as Mulligan looking to get something going here. Nice little dunk. Is that going to float in? It's not. It's going to go off the post. Like I was saying, though, we've seen kind of Ice spread out, and they're kind of playing kill the clock right now, which isn't necessarily a bad thing when Clover hasn't been able to show you any offense. An air demo might open some things up here, but that's going to be denied. mulliganisoup chasing this one down. Enterprise not able to get the touch. Here's Vvreze. I can't see. There's a smoke bomb in the way. However, no goal to be found as this is going to go down once again. Double commit, going to open up some space on the defensive end, but a good 50 by Vvreze, at least going to keep the ball out of the net. Wicked, we have a minute to go, and it's still 1-0.
Yeah, and like you were saying, that it just seems like Ice is trying to play time as that gets a good dunk to SqueezySponge. Enterprise with a huge dunk, pulling out that protein powder, getting in the weight room. What a pass to Squeegee, as this man has goal number 4 on his name out of these 4 games, and we have a tie game with a minute left.
Game number 2, we still got a minute remaining, like you said, and at this point, every single goal for Clover has been scored by SqueezySponge. However, kickoff going to go awry, and Ice is going to be able to find the lead again. Just a little bit of a cluster here. Very volatile move, and a great touch by Vvreze. Just jumping. Doesn't have to do anything else. Doesn't have to flip in it. Just knows he has to beat the last defender. It happens, and boom, Ice have the lead again.
What I have to note is that's the second goal in this game that Ice got a kickoff on. And it seems like they're trying to do a big strat of winning a good kickoff and getting the ball in the net, as there's a big whiff that comes out from Mulligan. This might be an opportunity for Clover. It goes over the side, over the head of Arc. Arc looking for a demo, though. Vvreze awkward. Arc's up. That gets cleared away by Mulligan. And we're under 30 seconds here, and Clover needs to make a big push, but they're unfortunately able to do that. It's getting stopped, and that ball's floating over. Arc's there to clean it up. Enterprise maybe pushing his ball downfield. Arc's going to take control of it. He's going to try to get a flick, which he does, and it goes in the net with 16 seconds left. And Arc, you're a crazy man. What a shot by you, and good pass by Enterprise as we have a tied game. We might be going into overtime here in game 2, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and there goes the caster curse. We're going to see another kickoff goal. I don't know who it's going for, but Wicked's definitely going to make it happen. No, it's a great flick. Yeah. Absolutely. It's just one of those things where you kind of see those double commits. You see that close spacing coming out on Ice again, as that's a monstrous dunk. Here's Vvreze. Shot. Oh, that's a rocket. And it finds its way into the net. Wicked, what did I tell you, son? What did I tell you?
You were right. I definitely did give the caster curse. And yet again, another kickoff goal on the side of Ice. Is that what they've been doing all this season, is just getting kickoff goals? Absolutely crazy. Especially like, oh my gosh, that's absolutely nuts. We have 8 seconds left here. Let's see if Clover could possibly maybe get a tie here. As Squeegee has the ball full boost, but it gets denied by Vvreze, and that ball is probably going to drop here. I don't think that's going to be pushed down, and that ball is going to drop, and Ice take game number 2. We have a tie series out of the 4 games at 1-1 as Ice gets a very well needed win, and they need one more, Viz, to secure playoffs for Contender.
Well, I mean, after that, all the pressure is off, right? Like, obviously, you want to keep winning games, but once you make the dance, that's all that matters. I mean, we just have to look at Eli Manning somehow having 2 championships to validate that, right? So, I mean, all that matters is that you get there. So if Ice can do that here with 2 match days still remaining, it's definitely going to feel good. Maybe you get the sub a little bit more playing time before you kind of lock down for playoffs into your rotation. Vvreze doing a great job there, but honestly, if Clover cleans up the kickoffs, like, we're not seeing any offense out of Ice other than that. We saw them kind of open up. They had a couple of good goals to start off game number 1 to make it close. However, this, even though they won, it was just all kickoff goals. And I don't know how sustainable that is for the next 2 games.
Yeah, definitely. And it just seems like Clover kind of needs to play a little bit more patient, you know, going into game number 3. Understand that they're losing the battle when it comes to getting scored on by kickoff goals. So definitely playing a lot more patient as a third man. You know, if you're going for that back boost, play patient as a third man and be ready for a shot to come in. You know, don't try to rush forward, and just play patient and play off of what's happening. And, you know, we'll see. I mean, like I said, Ice needs one more win and they secure playoffs. But can Clover prevent that from happening as we're getting into game number 3?
It's a great question. I mean, at the end of the day, both of these teams are probably going to make playoffs. So I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, well, this is going to be make or break. But I mean, we're talking about the number 1 versus the number 2 seed. And I got something really cool for you, though. If you're going to cheat up that hard right there, Ark, and SqueezySponge, my boy, you've been popping off this series. Turn back for boost. It is not that imperative for you to rush the ball. That's the reason that the first person is cheating. This is my pet peeve in Rocket League. If you rotate back, you have a chance to save that ball.
And yet again, we see another kickoff goal on the side of Ice starting the game early. So this is like I said, I feel like Ice has been getting their wins just strictly off of kickoff goals, which is absolutely crazy. As this ball is going to get rallied over here in the corner. We're kind of fighting in the corner here with both of these teams. Mulligan gets a miss. Squeezy there to kind of read a shot to come in. Ark, they're keeping the ball still in the corner, trying to figure out who's pushing his ball out. Squeezy is definitely going to push his ball out as he sends it back onto the side of Ice. They have to make a save. Vvreze there, back playing patient. This ball is floating dangerously over the box. Enterprise there, there's a bump and he misses and it hits off the backboard. Ark there passing it to nobody, and now Squeezy has to play patient as they're looking to make a counterattack as he gets a good 50. Kind of prevents a counterattack. Ball gets pushed back down on the offensive side, and a big dunk comes out. That ball, oh my goodness, it was so close.
It's just hovering there, Wicked. It is just hovering in the box. Like, I gotta ask Clover, where's the second man there? I know it was awkward, but sometimes you gotta risk it for the biscuit. That's one of the opportunities. And I feel like you kind of got a chance to maybe tie this game up, not have to worry about the kickoff until it comes. Vvreze kind of making this awkward. Oh my, second touch, third touch, going all over the place. If I couldn't read it here on spectator cam, his teammate definitely couldn't as this ball is in front of the box. Little awkward touch. There's SqueezySponge, not able to find the angle this time. Rocket from Enterprise going to go just high as Ark looking to get this one on net. And, you know, it's one of the few times I'd like to see that ball continued in the corner so you can continue to get that boost pressure. So this ball's going to be right down in front. Enterprise able to get it away, but Wicked, we're seeing a little bit more offense coming out. A good bump attempt coming out. The flick there from Enterprise going to get him on the board. A little bully ball going to get Clover tied up in this game.
Shout out to my man Flexi, old man Rocket League. You love to see it. Just beat him up. That's all you got to do. Force him to jump. What a good job there by Squeezy, forcing that last defender there for Enterprise to get a good flick into the net. We have a tie game here in game number 3 as another kickoff goes over onto the side of Clover. Let's see if they can actually play off of that kickoff, and they do. Squeezy gets a good clear. He has no boost now. He looks for a 50, gets a beat over a defender, which is really good. Ark looking to get a 50, gets flicked on by Vvreze. Vvreze gets a beat over another defender, looking to steal some boost. That ball's going to float over dangerously. It's still floating over. Who's going to jump up for it? What a save by Enterprise as he does make that initial jump, and Ark gets a good 50. And now that's maybe an open net here. And FerrisCrueller able to get a good save. I thought the Clover was about to score another goal.
Certainly looking like it, Wicked. And this is another opportunity the other way. Fortunately enough, it's going to be denied by Enterprise, having themselves a day. SqueezySponge going to be able to get this ball away right now. We're going to see what they can do with it. It's going to be Vvreze up right now. Going to get a touch over one. Arc doesn't have any boost. Still makes the save. He says, no boost, no problem. I got this for sure. Is this ball still in front of the box? Going to be a little bit dangerous. Vvreze, third in rotation, going to get beat out. Now the other two have to step up and make a play here. Ball's just going to be left, heading towards the corner. It's going to be a bounce down in front. Mulligan's going to be able to challenge off the far post. Are you going to be able to bring everybody back in rotation is the question now. Vvreze playing a little patient. One cutting in front is going to be Mulligan once again, but the side boost going to be stolen. Going to leave opportunities here. Corner boost taken as well. Mulligan doing everything they can. Going to be able to get it past one, but can you do anything with no boost? You can beat another apparently if you have the Merc.
That Merc is definitely big. It's definitely a game changer for sure. I saw a good couple 50s. That's a double commit on the side of Clover there. I saw some pretty good 50s for Mulligan with that Merc. That's a big body. It's hard to 50 a Merc. Trust me. I always have a problem 50ing a Merc. As he beats another defender. But Squeezy there to rally that ball up. He's looking for a double tap maybe. This might be an opportunity. He hits it off the backboard to a teammate. And what a save by Vvreze as he was just floating. Now Mulligan yet again looking for another 50, which he gets. FerrisCrueller did a rallied up in the corner. Enterprise taking his time here, looking to set something up for his teammate. And unfortunately, Arc was unable to get a shot on net as Squeezy able to keep this ball in. Enterprise is up. Double commit. Who's going to come in? Arc looking to set something back up for his teammates. Unfortunately, they're not there. They're trying to find boost again and reset on this attack on offense for Clover. We have a tie game under a minute. And what do you think is going to happen here, Viz?
I mean, it's kind of hard to tell. Right now, Clover is winning the boost battle. They're winning the possession battle. However, they haven't been able to crack the final nut. That walnut is still holding strong as somehow the defense is just sitting there. I mean, you had Vvreze earlier, like Buzz Lightyear style save. He wasn't flying. He was falling with style and just landed in the right spot. Sometimes the Rocket League gods just favor you that way. We hit 30 seconds remaining right now. Vvreze going to be able to take possession of this one. Arc going to be able to secure the boost in the corner. Gets away from Vvreze a little bit. Little miscommunication, going to leave this ball up as well. Mulligan going to be there. Double commit on the defensive end. Will this open up the space that Clover need to get the second game? That is the question. 12-10. Arc not able to make the touch. SqueezySponge gets it around one. Here's Enterprise with a touch up. Mulligan, awkward, gets a touch. Triple commit. 3 on the back wall. Guys, okay. I get it. It is dangerous, but you got to have somebody down as we go to overtime in game number 3.
That was just a mess there at the end, but Ice was like so confused. They were panicking, you know, with very little time left. They had the ball floating over on their side. It's just a bunch of panic and a bunch of mess. But we have overtime here in game number 3, and this is kind of a make or break win for any of these teams here. Vvreze, he's going to keep the possession going for Ice. As FerrisCrueller gets a big demo, this might set something up here. Vvreze gets a beat over one. Enterprise is back on the backboard. Good backboard defense by Enterprise as he gets a good clear downfield. Mulligan's refusing to let off the gas pedal as Squeezy gets a dunk. They're looking to push forward. That's a big double commit. This is going to be an opportunity for Ice if they can get to it. Vvreze looking for a flick. Arc denies anything to happen there. He grabs boost. Squeezy there playing patient defense, which he does. Gets a clear to the corner again. FerrisCrueller looking to set something up. And the Ice, ever since the beginning of this overtime, have had offensive pressure as this ball's floating over, and Squeezy with a big clear. This might be an opportunity for Clover if they can get to it, which they do. Squeezy looking for a dunk, which he does. And now we're seeing change of pace. Clover's coming on the offensive side.
I mean, Clover's just kind of firing back, and we've talked about the one. Oh, my FerrisCrueller, what a save. We talked about the one advantage that it seemed like Ice has had the entire time is the kickoff, right? You expect the beginning of overtime with that kickoff coming in, that they get to hold that possession. However, Mulligan has to leave this one. Gonna leave FerrisCrueller alone. Clear not gonna be strong enough to actually get this ball out. Here's Arc, one touch, trying to roll it up the backboard. Not able to get it through Mulligan, who does have a full tank of boost. We see Vvreze behind them, full tank of boost as well. Ferris, the only one who's kind of on the struggle bus. Mulligan Soup gonna get dunked. Ferris, are you caught out? Son, you gotta turn around. Looked like they didn't have ball cam on. It's gonna be 2-1. Clover take the same lead as the scoreline.
Man, FerrisCrueller was just kind of standing there menacingly as that ball was floating into his net, making a SpongeBob SquarePants reference there. You know, you love to see that. But Clover here taking game number 3 with a 2-1 in the series of 4 games. And what a statement there for Clover. But I mean, you know, we're here on stream, and I definitely believe that I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't doing no caster cursing for any of these teams, so I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. But what a win there for Clover. And obviously Squeegee, he gets his 5th goal for these 4 games. This man is absolutely crazy on the offensive side for the side of Clover.
He's been doing work, but I do also want to highlight this is the first game where we've really seen Ice kind of not be able to generate offense after the kickoff. They got their 1 kickoff goal, right? But you look at the shot differential that's here. Clover, 10 shots on the board. Ice, only 6, right? If you're getting outshot in these high pressure situations by 4, it's going to be that much harder when you only have 1 goal on the board to be able to win, especially as the game drags on in overtime. So I'm really looking forward to seeing kind of what SqueezySponge can continue to do. He does have, I believe it's like 82% of the goals right now for Clover, with SqueezySponge getting 1 on the board there. But I mean, we just got to see a step up, right? 9 saves on the other side. Ice was just perpetually stuck on defense for probably 4/5 of that game, and that's not a way to win versus a team that is the number 2 seed.
Yeah, exactly. And even looking at the saves for the Ice, they had 9 saves total in that game number 3. So obviously, yes, defense wins championships, but it's all about getting those counterattack opportunities. As there's a kickoff that's floating on the side, we might see another kickoff goal here, as that's going to get denied by Arc. We're starting this game number 4 off here strong, firing on all cylinders, as there's a 50 that comes out for both teams. SqueezySponge looking to get a clear out. Arc playing good patient defense. He has no boost now. Looking for a 50. It's all he can really do to help his team out. Enterprise floating up, hits it back in the corner, and yet again, we're seeing a lot of corner possession kind of feels. A lot of these teams, they don't want to bang it off the backboard to each other for double tap opportunities, which could definitely open up a lot of opportunities for either of these teams. As this ball is floating over, and Vvreze able to sneak it in past SqueezySponge, and we have the first goal of game number 4 for the side of Ice. I'm sorry, he didn't squeeze it by Squeegee. That was Enterprise. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good. Regardless, though, I mean, we kind of talk about that continued pressure, right? We saw it at the beginning of the overtime that Ice just lost. We did not see that continued pressure at any point for Ice in the previous game. So for them to go ahead and start off and actually be able to capitalize on that pressure like they weren't able to do in overtime is definitely a good sign for the future, as Enterprise trying to put 1 on net right now. And a little bit of an own goal there. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue with my next point, Wicked. And you were kind of talking about the defense having 9 saves, right? But in Rocket League, the whole point of playing defense is to play it before the shot is on your net, correct? So like,
absolutely correct.
You're kind of sitting there and you're like, oh, well, they had 9 saves. They were playing good defense, but they weren't making the initial challenges to actually continue that pressure or shut it down. And so it makes it kind of interesting, because you're like, they did a good job of defending the net, but they were having to double commit. They were low on boost the whole game. So I want to see that change here for Ice in game number 4. And just a reminder for all of you at home, this is a 4-game set. It is not a best of anything. So this series is pretty much going to be over. Clover might be the victor, or Ice will give themselves a chance, as mulliganisoup is going to snipe the upper 90 there and put Ice in the lead to try to tie this series up at 2.
Look at the SqueezySponge there in the back. He hits the post and he's unable to do anything there as he pushes forward, thinking that he had time to make a challenge. But unfortunately, that was just a good shot there on the side of Ice. And they take the lead here in game number 4, looking to make this series 2-2. But Squeezy here, he's going to look for an air dribble, probably denying that as he gets a good dunk. This ball's floating over dangerously on the side of Ice as he gets a bump, and nothing able to accumulate for Clover, but they're going to keep on pushing the issue. Big, you hate to see that backflip for Enterprise. He's looking to back pass for Squeegee. This might be an opportunity here for Clover to pushing his ball back downfield, and we're seeing Ice play defense yet again as Squeegee looks for a shot, and Enterprise, they're unable to hit the rebound back into the net, and we still have Ice here in the lead in game number 4.
And we're going to see what they can do with it, though. Oh my mulligan. See, that's how you play defense. No save register there because Rocket League just doesn't like people in general. This is going to be a good bump attempt, but Vvreze is going to be able to get it out of the way. It was a phenomenal shot and an even better save coming out from Ice to hold on to this 1-goal lead. The only thing that scares me is we saw them last game with the 1-0 lead kind of turtle up, right? They weren't really pushing the issue anymore. They weren't trying to stay on offense. No 1-goal lead in Rocket League is ever safe, Wicked. That's not something you could do, especially when you're playing a team as good as Clover. So I want to see them get on the offensive end, just like we saw from FerrisCrueller right there.
They really do. They need to start pushing. I mean, they're doing a good job here now, but that ball's starting to come back on the side of ice. As Ark gets a good dunk over one. Not a dunk, but he gets a good ground pinch. As you look at the, that's a double commit on Clover. And one thing to also note for Clover is a lot of their double commits is kind of really not good because it kind of takes away one as Ark looks for a shot. Enterprise looking to maybe get a ground pinch of 50. Squeegee there sitting in the back. This ball's coming back on the side of Clover. You're seeing a lot of back-and-back offensive possessions from both of these teams. Just back and forth. Both of these teams don't want to let off the gas pedal as Enterprise gets a good dunk. He has no boost now, so he's looking to get out of the way. Squeegee to come in and Ark maybe get a shot, and he does. And man, look, I think he's taking a piece out of SqueezySponge's book with that shot as he squeezes it in to the net and the perfect bar in. And we have a tie game here in game number 4 with 1:45 left.
Look, I don't want to say the game is playing favorites right now, but the crossbar and the post definitely are. I mean, how can you get that many good bounces in one series? I'm going to have to ask Clover how they're doing it right now because, again, never happens for me. As SqueezySponge going to look to continue this push down the side. We're going to see a good touch come out here. It's going to be Vvreze not able to get one. Double commit going to open up a ton of space on the ice net. It's going to be able to be found. No, Ark is going to be able to get that one away. Good touch by Ferris just to keep it at least towards the midfield, but this is going to go directly back there. Huge double commit once again going to free up that space. Mulliganisoup now in an octane, by the way. Ditch the Merc. Tired of memeing as they're going to land on this one. The counterattack. Is it there? Enterprise going to be able to get the save in time. Good bump going to come out as well. Little pinch going to be there. But Ark going to be able to get it away for now. 2-2, 1 minute remaining as Vvreze takes to the skies and looks for a pass and is going to be able to find absolutely nothing but the hood of SqueezySponge's car.
We are coming under here, a minute left with a tie game. Is there a possibility that we might have an overtime here in game number 4 as Squeegee's looking to maybe say no, but it gets saved away for the side of ice, and here we are again. As Enterprise gets a shot on net, and Ice was just all over the place on defense. They couldn't figure out what they wanted to do, who was going to go for it. They had all the boost in the world to be able to do it, but unfortunately they were in the wrong spot at the wrong time, and Enterprise there with a goal to take the lead in game number 4 with 40 seconds left.
I just had a flashback to season 5 of RLCS right there. Team bump in the corner is what allows that to go in. And the hopes and dreams of Ice clinching playoffs in match day 13 might be gone. 30 seconds remain. Vvreze taking to the skies. Ark gonna have a full tank of boost to work with. This ball is high. It's gonna be difficult to deal with. Off the backboard, both players bump each other. But no, it's a double commit on the side of Ice. It's a wide open net. No. The counterattack coming in right now. SqueezySponge has the opportunity and finds the post bounce again. Are you kidding me right now, Clover? You can't keep getting away with it.
It's absolutely crazy the amount of goals that they've had this series with the bar just helping them out. It's like, come on, you can't even find the middle of the net. Come on, gentlemen. Like, this is crazy. And that ball does find the middle of the net as we have a kickoff goal finally for Clover. And Clover is shutting down the dreams of securing a playoff spot for Ice in this match day 13, as there's no way that Ice can come back unless there's a miracle that happens, but that's very, very thin and short. As if they could come up with these kickoff goals as they've been doing, these, especially in game 2, they might have a chance here, but Ark is going to prevent that from happening with a good time killer. Enterprise with another good time killer. And ladies and gentlemen, Clover with a 3-1 victory over Ice, preventing them from securing playoffs. And what a series that we had on our hands here, Viz.
And this is just the first one, which makes it even crazier that we're going to see another one after this. But I have to say, 15 seconds left, 3 goals. We did not see the miracle on Ice. We saw it in 1980 at the Olympics. I don't think we'll ever see something to that magnitude again, other than the cricket team, if you're a follower of that. But yeah, Ice not able to pull it out there, not able to clinch playoffs either. So this is going to be kind of a rough slot ahead, but they are going to have some good film to go back and kind of watch. So we saw Clover just kind of completely shut down their offense. It's one of those things where you kind of always have to consider what they did, because I didn't really see Ice make any adjustments in that series. So I think it's going to be very important if they have a coach. Obviously, most teams do, to go back, sit down, watch this film. What did we do wrong? What can we do better? And obviously defensive double commits are going to happen, especially at this level. Those miscommunications, that's fine. But the amount of panic defense that we saw when they were out of boost, I think is something that can definitely be focused on for next week.
Definitely. And I think we should get into the MVPs of this game. And I think I have to give the MVP to SqueezySponge because that man had the most percentage goals of his team in this series. He was just an offensive powerhouse. He was always getting in the face of ice. He was where he needed to be. He was playing patient as a third man, coming in when he needed to, looking for those opportunities. So in my opinion, SqueezySponge in these 4 games is the MVP.
I mean, if you don't say SqueezySponge right now, you're just throwing. Like, it's just objective fact at this point. Like, yes, it was a much more of a team effort in games number 3 and 4 for Clover, and I have to give, of course, the teammates Ark and I just completely lost it. Ark and oh my, but yeah, Ark and crew. Excuse me, it's Enterprise. Were able to go ahead and kind of swing up and make their presence felt in the last 2 games. So definitely love to see that. But SqueezySponge kind of solo carried offense. Yes, he was being fed passes. Really doesn't matter at the end of the day because you have to find the back of the net. And so Squeegee able to do that, put the team on the back. It's going to send us into a great rival matchup as well. We're going to be looking at Curse versus Hammerheads coming up right after this quick break.